The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Monday, you're looking live at I guess Christmas is on its way. Ford Center, or Tostitos Championship Plaza, outside Ford Center, at the Star in Frisco, Texas, where winter has finally tried to make its way to
just for a day or two.
Area. Yeah. Then it'll be 80 next week.
At the end of this week.
End of this week.
Yeah.
It is 51 degrees. It feels like 48. The high is 54. The low tonight is 38.
He is Shannon. This is Kurt One Pump Daniels, because clearly two gets you a fine. In the back, keeping us live and local, is Chris Beam. I am Salt and Pepper Poppy. Together, we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us when we speak.
Wingstop is here. All right, fellas. Weird week. Weird weekend. Weird. Just tragic news into last week. If you saw the open of the show, they have a nice little graphic and tribute on top of Ford Center. The untimely passing of Marshawn Kneeland, which selfishly I'm glad we did not have a show last week.
Yep.
Had a little bit of time to process it, kind of figure out, things. Sometimes things just don't make sense, and this is one of those. From all accounts, and people that knew him said he was just a really nice young man, happy-go-lucky, not someone that would, struggle with something, which, you hear a lot of these stories, and a lot of these stories are kind of the same, where people just don't know what people are dealing with, and, we're going to take the first segment to talk about this, and then hopefully move on to talk about a little bit about football. But, it's just sad. It's sad, and, I'm sure there'll be details that come out. Maybe you can understand it a little bit more, but right now it's just – and it's a weird week around here because – and, Jesse, you speak to it from the player side. When something like that happens, you lean on your teammates and you gravitate. That's your support group, right? Mm-hmm. That's all you've known your whole life is the team. And then for it to happen in a week where a lot of guys were out of town and they were getting out of town on the bye week to go do stuff, and you're not together. And then I'm sure they were calling each other, and we heard they were having video calls, and, to deal with it, some people probably needed to talk to a professional counselor. And if they'd have been in the building, we have those on staff, and they would have brought other people in. But just talk a little bit about, from a player standpoint, how that can affect you, just from the team aspect, and kind of what went through your head whenever you heard the news.
Sad, right? It's obviously something that is just heart-wrenching, and you never want to hear stories about this. And, of course, this one hits closer to home because of the way that we cover this football team. We're in this building. But for me, it touches home personally, just because of someone who's dealt with mental health situations before in my own personal life. And the thing that you always try to help others understand, coming from the athlete's perspective, is – and I said this on my other show last week. We had to do a show. Is that every week, people from far and near, whether they're in the stadium or they're watching it on TV, there are these mythical figures that you get to see every single Sunday and on Mondays or Thursdays, whenever these games are being played, and they are larger than life, both in reputation and persona, and in size, in physical size. And people think, Marshawn Kneeland scored a touchdown Monday night. Okay.
Top in the world, you'd think.
You think that.
Yeah.
You think, man, these guys are living the dream. I'd give an arm and a leg to say that I play for any professional team. But those who are Dallas Cowboy fans, and you're playing and you have this privilege and this honor, which it is, to play this beautiful game of football. But the thing sometimes people forget is that when the helmet comes off and the jersey's thrown into the bin and you untie the cleats and you remove the tape from your wrists and your fingers and from your ankles and so on and so forth, that there's a human under that. There's a human in that uniform who hurts, just like you, just like me, just like the folks that watch him on Sunday.
They're not a machine.
They're not a machine. And I will tell you, and I'm glad that you made that reference, because for a long time, I struggled with that until I had a breakdown, is because you've been programmed for all of these years over and over and over to believe that you are a machine, is that you don't show emotions, you can't cry, you can't hurt, because that's not becoming of a man, a young man, and it's not the persona that you want as a football player. And so you keep these feelings suppressed. And while a lot of people say, hey, go talk to a teammate and go talk to so-and-so and go and talk to so-and-so, there's this level of almost vulnerability, some embarrassment, some I don't want to come off as soft. So you keep these things inside, these feelings, these thoughts, these things that are going into your head. And you try to suppress them for as long as they can, but they don't go away. They only increase. Whatever you want to call them, the voices, the demons, the monsters that are consistently, and what ends up happening is there are some days where there's enough around you to defeat them, right? There's the day that you have the support from the teammates and you feel loved and you feel like you're on top of the world, right? So it's like that day you win. But they don't stop. They never stop. They consistently come. And you just have to hope and pray and work towards building a community for yourself that allows you to win the battle every time it decides to rear its ugly head. And the hope and the prayer is that those of us who deal with those things get to a point that we don't stay in the dark. Because at times you feel like I'm safer here, or I don't want to burden them, or I don't want to show that level of vulnerability. And so you stay in the dark. And it grows and it grows. And the sad point about it is when it catches you when you don't have enough to defeat it. That's when it's bad. And so, from a player's perspective is, where is the space for us to be human? Where is the space for us to not be these mythical creatures? And I stopped using that term that you said, I am a machine, was a term that I referenced so many times in my life. And I may have said it here before, where it originally formulated from, I was a teenage boy. Mm-hmm. And a coach said it to me because I got hurt in the game. And he said, are you a man or are you a machine? And I lived that year in, year out. And it became like this mantra, not just a football badge of honor, but a way of life, that I am this machine. I don't hurt. I don't have emotions. I don't any of that until I didn't have enough victory to defeat that. And so I don't even let people, because people would actually sometimes reference to me. They'll say, oh, Jesse, you're doing this. You're working here. You're doing this. Da, 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 da. You're a machine. And I'll stop them. I go, I'm not. I'm human. I suffer the same things that I hurt the same way that you hurt. I cry. If I get cut, I bleed. If I break a bone, it's going to hurt. You know what I mean? Like, to give that reality to it. But it's unfortunate that we as athletes, especially football, is that there is this belief that we are stronger than others. There's this belief that we are greater than any of the things that can come against us. And we're not. We are human just like the next man.
Let me ask you, and this is kind of personal, so if you don't want to answer it, fine, just tell me. But as someone that's, you know, you've made it known that you've struggled with things in the past, and you always hear when something like this happens, you always hear people say, hey, reach out to people, tell them you love them, tell them you're there for, tell them. And like, I don't know if I believe that. I think you should take it a step further. I think you should, do that. It's important. But I know very few men, if any, that if they're struggling with something and you just reach out and said, hey, I want you to know I'm thinking about you today, or hey, how you doing? You good? Guys are going to be like, yeah, bro, I'm good. Like, I think you should, and you tell me how you feel as someone that's, you know, kind of been through some stuff. I think you should take it a step further. Yes, that's important, but let them know, hey, I may not know you very well, or we surface level friendship, but if you're ever going through some stuff, just I'll listen. I'm here for you. No, like, because no guy's gonna be like, yeah, you know what, we're casual friends. Yeah, you know what, I'm struggling with this. But if you know, like, hey, just letting you know, I'm always here if you ever need to talk. To me, take that extra step, right?
Yeah, I can tell you as someone who deals with this stuff, like, there have been days that I've gone through my phone and I'm like, man, I need someone to talk to. But then you go through it, and I'm just using you guys as references, right? But I go through it and I go, Shannon, do I want to call Shannon? Will he answer? Right? Because now you start battling this thing of, if I call you and you don't answer.
Then I'm worse.
Right? Yeah. Now I'm like, oh, I don't have Shannon. And I go, well, I mean, Kurt's dealing with his own situation, right? Can I call Kurt? Right? And then it's like, all right, do I call my brother? But now if I call my brother, you know, how overboard is he going to go? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so these are the games that are playing in your head about different situations and scenarios. A part of it is the dark side wanting you to stay in the dark, right? And then you're having this back and forth battle. And the best thing that one is to identify it, but then also create this circle of people who know you and go, something's not right. Something's not, even when you're smiling, right? Even when you're, you know what I'm saying? And that circle of people kind of sometimes know. And it could be a difficult thing because it's, I mean, I've come in here some days and I'm smiling, and I'm chippy, and I'm happy, and I leave here and I'm just like, boy, it's a day. You know what I mean? And so that's the part about it all. It's that it's these mind games that you play with yourself. And it's, who do I call? When do I call? What do I say when I call? Right? Because everybody's going to react to this thing differently. If I call and I say, man, today is not one of those days. Or I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. If they're like, now you're like, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
I don't need to deal with that. I don't need to deal with that reaction. I don't need to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's yes, you're right. You want to have that circle of people that you can reach out to and let them know, and have the professional peoples in it. Again, it's so difficult because everybody deals with life and things differently. And the best way that I can describe it is just trying to build your community, trying to build that group of people, and try to, try to build your community, and then try to just understand what you're going through as best as you possibly can and address it with professionals so that you can have, like, I'll give you an example. We make a joke, like people always say about, oh, Jesse, you're doing 18 different things. I have to. I have to. Not because I need the money financially. I have to. The more idle time that I have, the worse it can get. What does well for me is, and this may sound simple, Shannon, Kurt, Chris, and Nate, they need me today. They need me today.
Somebody or something.
They need me.
Right? Yeah.
Today, they need me. Now, do you? No. Show goes on with or without me, right? But to me, you need me. If that's enough to defeat whatever I'm battling today, then that's enough. So I do these different things because staying on a schedule gives me something to look forward to. Something as simple as when I work out early in the morning. My trainer is looking for me to be there at 5:30 in the morning. That may just be the one thing that says, not today. Or at DLLS, Clarence and Jeff and Ali, I got to be there. And if there's a person in my life, all of those things, it's not that I want to have 50 million jobs, but a schedule and things that I have to look forward to keeps me and puts me in a place where my mind doesn't sit idly. Now, I also have to understand and know, which took time, of when I need a break. When I need to have my mind not go work crazy and burn out. Because when you burn out, I become more vulnerable. That stuff then attacks. Yeah. So there's a delicate balance of me seeing a therapist every week, right? Letting some of those thoughts out. Not keeping them caged in, because before I did. But it's letting them out. And sometimes there's therapy sessions when I go in and there's a plan that we work through certain things together. We unpack certain things. And there's some days where I come in there and I walk in and he goes, "What do you got?" And I will talk for the entire hour. But it's out. It's no longer living and breathing inside my head to constantly swirl around. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So for me, those are type of things that work for me. I don't know what others or how others operate, but I know staying active, staying busy allows me a space of there is something important that someone expects me to be at. And that wins the day sometimes. That wins the day. That's where I'm like, boy, Holly's Helping Hand is coming up this year. You got to be there for that. Could it go on without me? Sure. But will it? I don't know. So it's things that you try to go and find. And I go, there are a bunch of kids and families that will be looking forward for me being this year to give them Christmas gifts. That helps me win a day. And some days I don't need any of it. I'm just a good day. I'm just good. And there's some days where I'm like, I got to go and find out some things because it's not a good day. I'm in the dark, right? And so that's why I do what I do, because that is the pattern that when I sit down with my professional, that works best for me. And it gives me an opportunity to win the days that are trying to defeat me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so and some people, like I talk to my friend Jeff, right? Jeff says writing it down helps me. Whatever's in my head, I got to go write it down. That helps me get it out. That helps me do what I have to do, you know? And those are the safer ways, because you have some people that, you know, they take other options to try to defeat these demons, and it hurts them even more. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that is, from an athlete's perspective, that keeps me in that space. But sometimes it's Marshon's 24 years old. Mm-hmm. At 24, I didn't have that. Right. At 24, I thought, I'm a machine.
Yep.
I'm a machine. That's what I thought. And these guys are dealing with a lot of different things that we don't even know.
Can you imagine if social media was a thing when you were coming up?
You know what I mean?
This?
Like it's crazy.
Well, I think it's great that you identified like what keeps your mind off of it. And that's being busy and being a part of something that you feel like, you know, you need to be there, you need
Right.
to show up. A lot of people like struggle with finding that thing, but I think it's great that this takes my mind off of it, so I'm going to do more of this.
Yeah.
You know, finding a hobby or something that makes you, you know, takes your mind off all that stuff, and then, okay, I'm going to do more of that. And on bad days, I'm going to even do more of that.
Right.
You know, I think that's great that you were, and that's the thing, man. It's like, it just puts into perspective, like, the machine that sports is, right? The profession, it's a game, right? That was Marshawn Kneeland, Dallas Cowboy. He's also a kid, somebody's kid, you know, somebody's boyfriend, somebody's best friend. I think that's the hard part, is like it you know, and this happens every day across the world to people you don't hear about, and people that struggle with stuff that, you know, that just can't overcome it, right? But I think it doesn't happen very often in professional sports, you know, and it doesn't really happen, you know, it's happened, you know, there have been 2 tragedies since I've been associated with the team, Jerry Brown. And then, you know, and then this, and it's like, it's a very weird, strange, it's just, there's no words, and it's a weird feeling that you can't explain it, you know.
You texted me a couple weeks ago, and you just was like, "Hey man, you good?" He was like, "You know, you weren't yourself today. Remember?" Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. And I said, "Thank you." I said, honestly, and I told you, I said, honestly, and I'm being truthful with you, I was just tired. Mm-hmm. That day I was just tired. But I said, thank you for noticing and having the courage to reach out to me. Because some would have been like, okay. But you took it upon yourself to go, something went right.
Yeah.
Now, you found out that I was just tired. But it was enough that I'm like, okay, if it had happened, if something was bothering me, that could have been a saving grace.
Yeah.
That could have been the moment from me doing something far greater and more devastating, because the phone rang and there was somebody that goes, he cares. In that moment, it could have been enough. And so that's my, if you ever feel that about one of your friends or family or coworkers or whatever it is, don't go, I'll do it later. I'll see you.
So that could be, like I said earlier, taking an extra
yes.
step, but that first step could be enough for somebody to be like, hey, yeah, something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
And then it could have been, now the next step is, let's call me. Hey, I'm on the way. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's just knowing the fact that, wow, someone actually cares about Jesse, not Salt and Pepper Poppy, not Mr. Fourth and Long, not the persona. You cared in that moment about Jesse. Mm. And that sometimes is what's missed. Because I can tell you, from playing in this game, and some of the things that Marshon probably dealt with, is there's a lot of people that loved him for what he brought. Mm. Even in his close circle. There's a lot of people who were around him and for him because of the status that he held as an NFL player, as an NFL, Cowboy, all of that. And you don't get to really know who loves me. Mm. And now I have to decipher who's here because of what I do and who's here because of
who I am.
Me.
Yeah.
And that could be a very, very clouded picture for a young person, a very clouded picture for a young person who's dealing with these mental issues or instabilities. And so that plays a part in your mind. I know that we have to break, but yeah, let me finish this so we break, so we can kind of get back to some sort of normalcy. I remember dealing, and I was in New England. Mm. And one day, Aaron Hernandez came into, we having Bible study in New England, and he came in one day, and even Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Hernandez. And we all know how that tragically ended. Mm. But he said something in that day that said why he spent all his time at the facility. And I can tell you, he loved football. And he said, this is the only place where I know people don't want anything from me. So I spend all my time here. Because nobody's going to ask me for anything in here. No one's going to try to trick me into giving them anything. There's no fake love in here. This is where I feel the safest. Mm-hmm. Was in the locker room with others that you hang with. And he's like, man, I know my mom and them, they just like to check. They just like what I bring. Like, that's what he's talking about. Like, his family members, like, they just like what Aaron Hernandez is bringing, but they don't really, And he was telling us, like, times that people were saying this about him. His family was saying that about him. He was like, I don't know if my girl, she with me because of whatever. And that's just the way he felt. Whether that was true or false on their part, it was his reality. Mm. You know what I'm saying? It was his reality of how the picture looked and how he took it. And we know that there were other things that were involved in that and how it all, like I said, how it all ended. But I remember that very vividly, him coming in there crying, having a conversation about, this is why I'm always here. This is why I'm the first guy in here, the last guy leave. I sleep in here. I'm in here all the time because this is where I feel the safest. This is where I feel like people actually don't want something from me.
Yeah, and unless you've been around celebrities, people with personas, right? Pro athletes, hell, even in college, like, that's your safe zone. Like, because like you said, those are people that are like-minded, that they don't want anything from, they're there for the same reason, mm-hmm. And when you get outside of that, and if you've been around it and you've lived it, you see the hangers-on, mm-hmm. the followers, is this really my, how did I get to be friends with this person? Right. Was it because I have a uniform on and a star on my helmet, and then that could be a bad spiral. And I can see where the only place you truly know anybody is your friend because of who you are is in the locker room, mm-hmm. because everybody outside of that wants something from every one of those guys, whether it's money, whether it's clout chasing, whether it's just to be a part of, oh yeah, I know a Dallas Cowboy player or whatever, like that. Over there, no one cares.
And then imagine someone who may have a level of insecurity, what they will do to fit in to a certain group. Mm-hmm. I tell people all the time, there are so many, the guys that don these jerseys in any sport that everyone thinks is so mighty and tough and just secure in their spot, they aren't. There are so many insecurities that are walking around, and they do the touchdown dances and they do all that kind of stuff, and you're thinking, oh my God, what a freaking athlete, what a guy, what a figure. And again, he takes that uniform off, and the insecurities are right there with him.
And maybe even more so because at least I know, like, nothing's real if you're a pro athlete. What's real?
Right.
Like, who is real? Who's here because of me? Or who, even though you're my best friend, how did I get to know you?
Right.
I knew you through a friend, and the only reason why I know that friend is because I play.
Right.
So do you really like me? Like,
right.
that's a crazy world.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But if you need help, please reach out to someone, talk to someone, get a professional. And just find out what are your triggers. Find out what are things that take you that way. Sometimes you have to eliminate some of the people from your life because those are the triggers. And then get a plan. Get a plan and work your plan. Work your plan, man. Stay on task. And but sad news.
Very sad.
Yep.
All right, let's take a first break. When we come back, Kurt, you want to talk the second segment?
No.
We'll see if we can get Kurt involved. Hanging with the boys. We'll be right back.
How about them Cowboys? And how about those Hillshire Farm Little Smokies cocktail links? We're big fans of both. After you enjoy the game, keep the celebration going with our savory, delicious Little Smokies cocktail links. Whether it's bringing incredible flavor to your family gatherings or surprising friends with mid-game fuel, Little Smokies cocktail links are sure to be a crowd pleaser. Get yours today at your local grocery store and enjoy them your way. Hillshire Farm is proud to be the official protein of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hillshire Farm is calling.
Cowboys fans, SeatGeek is the only primary ticketing partner of America's team and here to help you experience all the action this season. SeatGeek makes it easy to find the perfect seats to the perfect game, so you can be part of all the touchdown celebrations and momentum-shifting takeaways this season. Whether you're getting tickets to Cowboys games or to any other live event in DFW, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. SeatGeek.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the second segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every show by blockchain.com.
Blockchain.
Thank you, Blockchain.
We got to be quick because we got to do another commercial.
Yeah, we got a commercial.
We got to go like 5 minutes here and then come back for 5 minutes.
Yeah, got to take care of everybody.
Yeah.
All right, halfway through the NFL season. Where Kurt, start with you, just to get you involved here.
I don't know. I don't want to be involved.
Come on, Kurt.
Where's your expectation as compared to reality coming into this season? What did you expect, and how do you feel about where you are?
I think that the homer in me probably had higher expectations and was realistic. 2020 vision, you're looking back at a new head coach, a new defensive coordinator, a roster that wasn't maybe as talented as we hoped. And so maybe this is where we're supposed to be. You know, it's just not the championship team I think we had hoped going in when we all were full of hopium.
Yeah, we need to pull the. Maybe we do this tomorrow. We pull our predictions and see where we were.
Yeah, I want to say I was like at 6-2, something like that. I mean, it was ridiculous.
A little high. I think. I feel pretty good about the direction of where this thing is headed. Like, I think
to hell?
No.
What direction?
No.
What direction you?
No, I mean for at the beginning of the season, no. But what the head coach, I think he's called some really good games. I think he's called some very questionable games. Growing pains as a head coach, first time.
I think the last 2 games he hasn't been really good, but I also believe the last 2 games he's had to spend a little bit more time on the defensive side. So maybe he's not giving off. So that's why I'm like, get back over here full time, my boy.
Give him a little grace.
Yeah.
I think for the first time as an organization since I've been here, you have ownership not directly admitting we didn't evaluate our players correctly, but going and doing something about it. Because usually it's, hey, we can fix this. We'll go grab this guy off the street. We'll get this guy off the couch. We'll get this guy. You went and made some moves going, okay, here's our problem. Right up the middle, this is our problem. Let's go fix it. Mm-hmm. So I applaud them for doing that. Too little, too late this year? Yes, absolutely. But for the first time, it feels like a change in direction, which I don't think I've felt ever before. Because, 8-8, 8-8, 8-8. Oh, we're good. We just this guy was hurt, and this happened, and this was. I feel like they maybe backed into this, but there's a fundamental type change that they're hopefully. It's going to have to get through this season, and then depending on what they do with the draft, we'll see if they really have that fundamental, change in what they're doing. I thought the offensive line was going to be a lot better than what it is. I think that's been a little bit of a disappointment.
I don't worried about that.
I don't think you could get much better play out of the quarterback. He's had a couple of off games, but that is directly tied to the offensive line. The receivers are great. The run game is great.
Better.
The defense you can't really say anything about the defense. It's been a disaster.
Yeah.
But I think this is about where I thought they would be. And if they had any semblance of a defense, I think this would be a completely different looking season, and you would be a lot way better than you are now. But I'm okay. Defense, kick that to the side. I'm okay with
That's what everybody else does.
where they're at. Yeah.
Everyone else does.
Good point. But what about you, Jess? Where are they at right now, kind of where you thought they would be?
As a resident hater on this show,
yes. Expect nothing less.
I think when we go back and look at the grand total, I think I had them winning maybe one more game than what Vegas said they were going to win. I did not think coming into the year that they were Super Bowl contenders.
Mm-hmm. No,
I did not think they were going to be this bad.
Yeah.
Right, like they're historically bad on defense. Mm-hmm. And, of course, now you have the offense, which feels like it's doing some overcompensation for it. That's now messing their flow and rhythm up. But as this thing began to unfold, because like the way I looked at it was, I saw all the guys that had left, whether that was going to other teams, being released, so on and so forth. And I was like, man, they're not replacing these guys. No. You know, I'm like, a lot of talent is going out the door.
Wasn't just Parsons either.
Yeah, like you start dating all the way back. Like you talk about those core pieces. You think you couldn't lose J. Lou right now? Right?
Lawrence Armstrong.
You think you could use Tank Lawrence right about now?
He had a pretty good day yesterday.
You see, like, and while I get while they're here, you're looking for them to be way up here all the time. But this is how good teams are formed, is that if you can keep a guy like Tank and then have a guy like Micah and Jordan Lewis, and then, you know, the one thing that if the Joneses were as proactive in the middle as they were this year, think about if they like going to acquire, don't go acquire a guy in the middle that's on his way out, right? This is what we talk about, spending the money to get the assets that are needed. Let's I don't know, Chris, if you're ready. Let's do another break so that we can come back, do our last commercial, and then finish out with this.
All right, take our last break. We'll be right back on Hanging with the Boys.
Cowboys fans, SeatGeek is the only primary ticketing partner of America's team and here to help you experience all the action this season. SeatGeek makes it easy to find the perfect seats to the perfect game, so you can be part of all the touchdown celebrations and momentum-shifting takeaways this season. Whether you're getting tickets to Cowboys games or to any other live event in DFW, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. SeatGeek.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the final segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every show by 7-Eleven. And just like 7-Eleven, we are always open for business 24/7. All right, Jesse, you were making a point about the what was your point? Talking about the season and if it was where you thought it was.
And so replacing guys, like sending guys away, not replacing guys, and then keeping those core pieces, your Jordan Lewis's, your tanks. Like of course, you would like to have one of the best pass rushers, an A+ elite player on your team, but like you just don't replace those guys, and that's the thing. Sometimes you just think, we'll just put the next guy in there.
Yeah.
And the next guy may not have that dog that you need. You can use a dog right now. You can use a Jordan Lewis dog. You can use a Tank Lawrence right now, right? And so the thing that you looked at from the Joneses perspective and the front office perspective was, really don't go get bottom of the barrel. Like Quinnen Williams, imagine you didn't need to have Tank, but imagine if you still had J. Lou and you had Quinnen and you had Micah. Like, you have attitude, you have somebody who's legit in the middle, and then you have this ferocious pass rusher. Now you can start adding a Logan Wilson, right? Now that's when you have the right amount of players in there. Now I can start piecing other things together. But you can't build a defense or an offense with a bunch of pieces. There needs to be some standouts.
Seemed like those pieces, a lot of them they're really counting on guys coming back from injury, on young guys stepping up.
Yeah, that's a lot of hope.
Right, yeah.
Right, like that's a lot of hope. And as the great Marvin Lewis told me, like potential gets you fired. Like, so you can tell me about the potential all day long. That doesn't, if that potential doesn't work out, I get fired. Mm-hmm. I like to have sure things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you don't win in this league without talented players. I'm sorry. You just don't. Like, you go around, look around the league, like, look who's winning. You know what I mean? Kansas City, they got 3 Hall of Famers on their team. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And a Hall of Fame coach. And probably a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator. You just don't. You need talented players. The Philadelphia Eagles, they won the Super Bowl last year. Yeah. They got a couple guys that'll probably, at that time they had Kelsey and they had Saquon's probably going to go to Hall of Fame, and they have high level players all across the board. Yeah. You just don't win in this league without it. You can contend, you could be in games, but to truly have to win it, because the skill level is just far too great, and then the good teams also are accompanied with these excellent coaches. So when you have to go up and you have to face the Detroits, and you got to face the Niners, and you got to face the Green Bays, and you got to face the Rams, you run into an issue because, 1, you don't have enough Jimmys and Joes, and then 2, you don't have enough X's and O's. So you shot the hell all the way around the park. You know what I mean? Coming into this year, I didn't think, and this is before Micah was even traded away. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, they'll compete, yeah. But I'm like, they're not. I didn't see front runner. I didn't see, winning the division. I definitely didn't see Super Bowl written on this team, and and it showed. You just like to trust and believe that it's always going to be like, even now, like people are hoping and praying that we had Savone Revel's dad was on my other show. He was in the chat. He's in the chat like, yeah, my son's getting a pick on Monday night. I'm like, whoa, Dad. Like, I love it. I love it, Pops. I love it. Absolutely love the energy that you're giving your son. But now if he doesn't, don't get mad at me when I call him out for it, because you set him up for this. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people are like, oh, when we get Overshown back. And I'm just like, man, I hadn't played football in a long time. I want him to succeed. But to put that, now you're putting so much pressure on them. Right? So now think about how this can be a conversation that goes back to the mental health of this whole thing. We already know that DeMarvion Overshown is a guy who hears everything. He hears it. So does he accept the pressure of it? What happens if it doesn't go right? Yeah. Now, we can say what happens if it goes right, great. What if it doesn't?
That's what Nate always talks about, right? Give these guys a chance.
Like what if
take
what
the
if
pressure off of them, right?
What if in the first game he plays twist an ankle? I'm not asking, I'm not wishing that. I'm just saying there's been a lot of pressure that's been put on the shoulders of these guys coming back. Yeah.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? To save this season. So I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. And the Cowboys right now, they have to kind of go like 7-1 in the last 8 games to
even have a chance, really.
To have a chance, like, you know, and you can't confidently, even with the pickups that we had with Logan and Quinnen, you can't confidently just go into the game now and say, we're going to beat the Raiders. How many times have we said that this year and all of a sudden now?
Yeah.
Like teams have been gooch juice leading up to us, all-stars playing us, back to gooch juice after us. Right? Like,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I can't confidently say, oh, this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer that, you know, as bad as Geno Smith played this year, we're going to smoke him. Okay, like we said that many times before, and we're like, you know, there's Russell Wilson that's out there, there's Jacoby Brissett that's out there, there's little Tink in Carolina that's out there. Like, there's a lot of, you're like, you can't confidently just say, oh, we gonna win, and then you definitely can't confidently say after Vegas, Detroit, Kansas City, you know, Philadelphia. Ooh, so yeah.
All right, fellas. Good stuff, Jesse. Thanks for sharing, man. Really good stuff. Kurt, good seeing you. Nate, we will see you tomorrow. Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. Josh, thanks for keeping him company. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place.
Boy, Josh ain't back here. Come on.
Okay, never mind. Hanging with the boys.
We out.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?